everyone, Bill's here, and today we're gonna see why Necromancer Stamina build for PvP for Flames of Ambition patch. As I told you in the Dragonite Magica video, I would like to introduce some other PvP builds that come across. Maybe they are suggested by other players, or maybe they are just created by me, but this content, like my content in general, has the purpose to be shared with you guys so you can maybe understand better Elder Scrolls Online as a game, either in PvE content or PvP content. Now for the Stamina Necromancer, I will say that right now is probably the strongest class above all, and maybe competes with Stamina Warden, but they are on the same page because they have the highest burst in the game from stamina classes, and they are really tankier. Damage reduction from Necromancer, I guess it's a little bit better than Warden, but Warden has somewhat a little more healing overall due to the Arctic Blast and the Resolving Vigor. So they are pretty much on the same page, but both really viable. So for Stamina Necromancer, I choose a really weird build that I came across. It runs Battlegrounds weapons, and the only problem that I had playing Stamina Necromancer in past is that it's really hard to sustain stamina really well, especially in Battlegrounds. But with this build, you're not gonna have this problem at all, and I'm gonna show you why in a couple of seconds. This build is for Battlegrounds and for Imperial City. It doesn't work on Cyrodiil right now, but it's gonna work on Cyrodiil after they change the no-proc set for the test for Cyrodiil. So after the Flame of Ambition patch, so when we are gonna face the new patch, this build is gonna be viable in open world as well, so Cyrodiil. Anyway, just dive into the build. So, starting about the skills. In my front bar I'm running Dizzying Swing, which is our main spammable, and it's probably the most used ability in the game right now, because pretty much every stamina who knows how to play stamina play Dizzying Swing. That's because it's really hard. You set the target of balance, you can stun with Dizzying Swing, and the combo with the Vateshran, it's really good if you're using Dizzying Swing, because you can set the target of balance and then you can weave a medium attack with the Vateshran perfected Greatsword or Maul. So it's really suggested. Blastbone, that's our best skill. It's better than, it competes with the Subterranean Assault, but I would say that Blastbone is better because it's still AoE damage, but it's on target, so you don't have to face the direction of your target to cast Blastbone. That means that you can kite while casting Blastbones. So you can, if you're kiting 3 people, you can Blastbone, then turn around, then kite them, then Blastbone again, so you can apply some pressure and major defile while kiting. You don't have to be in front of your target to cast Blastbone. You have to be, but like for a couple of fraction of distance. It's not really, you just don't have to stay in front of your target to let the Blastbone hit. That's what I mean. Rally, you can use the other morph as well if you want to have if you're not gonna use Race Against Time, but in the back bar I'm gonna use Race Against Time, so I can avoid CC in that way. I prefer Rally for the healing. And then I have Reverse Slice right now because I'm doing a lot of Battlegrounds, but it's just up to you. Normally I run Executioner, and I suggest you to run Executioner as well, because the 100 damage that it does on low health people, 100% more than Reverse Slice, is really juicy. It's really a lot of damage. And in my front bar I'm using Mortal Coil, A lot of people use this on the back bar and it's okay. The only thing that I figured is that number one, I don't have really a spot for the Mortal Coil in my back bar right now. I know is an healing done increase, so normally you want to slot it in your back bar, but at the same time, when you're casting your healing and you're swapping to your front bar again, you're still gonna get the healing done, but you are gonna be on the front bar. So yeah, it's pretty much the same. You can swap it up with some other skills as well, but I really think that the difference between a good stamina necro in PvP and a bad stamina necro in PvP is how you can keep this up. Like if you can keep this up every time, you're gonna be good at it, and you're gonna never die probably if you're positioned correctly. Our main ultimate is Dawnbreaker of Smiting, obviously. This is a lot of damage. You can set up the combo with Dawnbreaker and the Didzing Swing, the medium attack. You can do a lot of burst. I'm gonna show you the burst after all. In our back bar we have Elemental Drain. That's because we are running a nice stuff, a frost stuff. Then I'm gonna explain why. And we are running Beckoning Armor, which is the one that pulls enemy to you. It's just fun to see people ranged that just being pulled to you, and like I really like when the little Nightblade stamina with bows are light attacking you in Battlegrounds, and suddenly they are pulled to you and they like shit themselves and run away and you just smash them. Yeah. So that's the reason why I'm running Beckoning Armor. It's really good against Magicka Sorcerer as well, because Sorcerer can streak out and try to kite you out, and after a couple of seconds it's gonna be pulled back to you, so you have to consume another streak to make distance. Okay, so this is really good against those classes. Resolving Vigor, which is our main heal, it's basically our power heal, because we have little heals here and there, but this is the main one, so you want to keep this up all the time. Race Against Time is our ability that removes snare and immobilization, so if you get CC'd or if you get slowed, you can just cast this and you are gonna be fast. I use this because I like to be fast on stamina characters, so I try to use every time Race Against Time on them. It's just my personal preference. You can slot whatever here. It's up to you. If you don't want to be fast and you don't need a speed, just slot something else. There are a lot of really good choice. Like I see a lot of people running around with both Totem or Grave Grasp. Of Dead and Pain you can use the Life and Dead. It's up to you. It's even Hexproof is good because it's gonna purge you. Like Necros has a lot of skills that you can slot, so it's really personal the setup you choose. But I am gonna go for Race Against Time because it's really useful for me. Last but not least is Spirit Guardian, because this is the one of the probably the best skill you can run in Necro. Why? Because it gives us 10% mitigation when we summoning it. It's gonna heal up a bit, so we have a sustained heal over time after our we have two healing over times. One is Spirit Guardian, the second one is Mortal Coil. If we keep up those every time, we are not gonna be in the position to cast Resolving Vigor really often, and it's cool because we're gonna waste less stamina overall, so we can just focus on the offense, because those are gonna be up either during offense, and then you can cast Vigor only when you really need the heal. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Ravenous Goliath because it's OP, it's really hard, and slotting this in my back bar augment my healing done and healing received, so it's pretty good. Now, why are we using Elemental Drain? That's because, and then I'm gonna switch to sets. In my back bar I'm using Vattestram Perfected Ice Staff. This is just OP. I'm gonna show you why. This one, first of all, this is really hard. It gives a lot of pressure even if we are a stamina character, especially in this meta that we have 2.4k spell damage, even if we are stamina, right? So this is gonna be high damage even if we are stamina. So this applies a lot of pressure because it's a pressure dot. It applies a lot of concussion and burning and frost damage. So it's gonna make our target really squishier if he has that on it. And it's a frost stuff, so we can block with it. It's similar to a sword and board setup. It's gonna give a little bit less mitigation than a sword and board is gonna give you. So if you want to be safer, you just get rid of the Vateshran Perfected Ice stuff, and you can slot. I'm gonna give you two choices here, which I think are the best. The first one is one items and shield of the Perfected Master, so the ones that drops in Dragonstar Arena, and you can slot one item shield of Master and use Pierce Armor instead of Elemental Drain, so you're gonna take some resistances back and a little heal. That's really good as well. And the other choice is, let me just look for them. Yeah, Potentate's one item shield. You're gonna take 3% damage mitigation, which is not that good on other classes, but on Necro that you have already a 10% plus another 3% mitigation, you're gonna be pretty much unkillable in backbar. So yeah, but why we are using Vateshran Perfected Ice? That's because when we block on the ice stuff, due to our passive, we are gonna consume Magicka instead of stamina. While we blocking, we are gonna generate stamina. That's because the block on our ice stuff is not gonna block stamina recovery. Like if I see the spread here, you can block it. Unfortunately, I could not receive damage right now to show you, but if someone is punching me right now, I'm gonna consume my Magicka, but my stamina recovery is still gonna tick. So I'm never gonna be out of stamina, okay? And this ice stuff I'm gonna show you. That's what are we gonna do. Like light attack and just put the drain on the target. You can swap already. Why the light attack? Because we try to apply our poisons. Right now I'm running a double dot poison and a little bit stamina drain, but you can run whatever poison. I really suggest a double dot because it gives a lot of pressure for us. Like when the enemy has a double dot plus Vateshran and we are pushing the enemy with our offensive combos, so Dizzying Swing and Blastbone, the enemy is gonna probably has to stay on defense, and with Major Defile it's really hard to heal, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I prefer the double dot because I don't really need Escapist Poison on this class, but if you want to run Escapist, it's okay as well. I just suggest to use double dot. Front bar, we are using Vateshran Perfected Greatsword Sharpened. Unfortunately, even though I score pushed in Vateshran a lot, so I have every Vateshran weapon, the only one that I'm missing is the mole, so yeah. So I cannot make a mole, so I just went for the Greatsword. It's good because it gives us a lot of weapon damage, and I went for Sharpened because it's better damage on healthier target. Like if you're facing a warden that has 25 to 30k resistances, the Sharpened is gonna be better than Nearnode, okay? It's gonna be more damage. Nearnode in front bar is only for squishier people, and nowadays I'm not concerned about squishier people, if you know what I mean. Like if I see someone squishy, I can one-shot him every time, even if I have Sharpened. But if I see a bigger target, I need Sharpened to kill him. So yeah, that's why I went for Sharpened. And we are using Berserker Enchant in front because we want to increase our weapon damage every time we can, since it's a really weapon damage focused build, since it's stamina. For jewelry, we are using a couple of agility just to get the maximum stamina. Both are infused with weapon damage glyph. A Malakat Band of Brutality, that's of course the bread and butter of this build because we need the extra damage that it gives us. Malakat is essential for the build. If you don't have it though, you can just put the third agility and it's gonna work pretty fine as well. You're gonna do a little less damage, but you can crit, so when you crit you're gonna be more damaged than the Malakat. That is just more consistent. Body pieces is Eternal Vigor. I'm running Sturdy and Well-Fitted, one piece is Impenetrable. If you can run a reinforced chest, is gonna be really good here. I just have Well-Fitted, so I just didn't transmute it, but reinforced chest, and for the rest I just split to couple of Sturdy, couple of Well-Fitted, and couple of Impenetrable. Normally I do like that. Yeah. For our monster set, it's gonna be Valor Medium. I have reinforced and impen. It's not perfect, but you know, it's gonna be okay. So we are running 5 heavy and 2 medium. 2 medium because we need this weapon damage and stamina recovery. And this is an heavy armor build. Why? Because I just feel like that if you're using Malakat, it's better that you use an heavy armor build. I feel really comfortable with Eternal Vigor because this build uses both stamina to block than your magicka to block. So you're consuming both resources, so I feel like the 3-stat recovery that we obtain with Eternal Vigor is really good. And the Balorg is probably the only monster set that you can actually run. You don't need anything defensive here, so you can go offensive. It gives us weapon and spell damage. The spell damage that it gives us is gonna interact with our Vateshran Frost stuff, and this is gonna be more damage. That just because we slotted Balorg. And then when we ulti, we're gonna have a burst of damage. So I'm gonna let you watch, like, okay, if I activate the glyph, let me just pump it up a little bit. Okay, so we are currently at 500, 5000. If I throw the Balorg, I go to 600. Yeah, basically the top is 6200 weapon damage with rarely active and with our Berserker active. So it's pretty high weapon damage overall for a heavy armor build. You can kill a lot of targets. So for the combo, let me just reset it. So I'm gonna show you the combo really quick, and then we're gonna dive into the CPs really fast. So when you're facing a target, you just want to line up your Blast Ball, Light Attack, Frost Staff, Didzing Swing. You're gonna put enough balance, you're gonna do a medium attack, and then you're gonna do or Dawnbreaker or the Execute. It depends on the target health. Why we're gonna do that? Because when you put the target of balance and we do a medium attack, you're gonna proc the Vateshran and you're gonna stun him. Because doing a heavy attack on a target of balance is gonna stun them, and if you do a medium attack like this, it's gonna count as an heavy attack as well. So if it wasn't a target dummy but it was a player, I would have stunned them. So that's why we do the combo like that. Why? Because after this, if you do another Didzing, if you're facing a good player, the second Didzing will always be roll dodged. Every time. If you're facing a bad player, you just can spam Didzing and stun with the second Didzing, but with a good player, you just have to do one Didzing medium into Executioner. So the medium attack that we does has to be really quick. So Didzing, medium, Didzing, medium. This one is gonna proc Vateshran immediately after the off-balance set, and if he's not blocking that medium attack, which is harder to block than a Didzing Swing or to roll dodge, you're gonna stun and give all the damage of the Vateshran on top of him. And if he's stunned, we can just throw the Dawnbreaker on top of it. So it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4. With the Blast Bomb, obviously. So we need the Blast Bomb as well. Okay, now, speaking about food and Mundus, I'm using Serpent just because I use this for Battleground as well, but if you are in Imperial City or open world in general, you can just run Warrior. So the Warrior is suggested. Artaeum takeaway Broth is, yeah, essential. You need a little bit of stamina recovery more. If you feel you can go around with Bewitched Sugar Skull, just use it, but I feel just Artaeum Takeaway is better for me. And for potion, 3-stat potion are okay. You can use Detect potion, I don't have any. You can use Detect potion, you can use Immovability potion, you can use whatever, but our main pots are gonna be the 3-stat. For CPs, really quick, we're gonna use... Holy shit, something went wrong. Okay. We're gonna use the Duelist rebuff, Biting Aura. I'm gonna explain you why we're gonna use this. This empowers our Blastbone damage. Deadly Aim, this is gonna empower our single target damage, so everything except Blastbone. And during this solve is gonna take less damage over time. And for passive, as always, you start from here, try to take hard, the Elemental Aegis, and quick recovery if you can. And if you are in Imperial City, I really suggest to take Preparation as well if you have the points to do that, because a lot of deaths in Imperial City are caused by bosses and not from prayers, so that's why you're gonna take less damage from bosses and ads. Then in this tree you're gonna have, I tried here to do like a little bit of an hybrid setup. Why? Because we are using the Battlegrounds in backbar, you know? So investing some points in magical damage and magical status, it's gonna benefit our damage, but I don't have like, I would need 2100 CP in order to do so and to slot every passive as well. So I just did this because I think it's just, if you want to play a little more offensive, you can give priority to the second tree here. So applying magical status, I'm gonna bring this to 40, just now it's 20, and 30 here to have weapon and spell damage to magical attacks. And this is gonna affect flame, frost and shock damage. Why? Because we need this for the Battlegrounds damage. And then we are gonna put everything into Tireless Discipline, of course, and Eldritch Insight and Blessed, right? That's the point of the blue tree. No precision needed because we are using Malakat, so this is completely useless. And every time, okay, now I'm gonna use Slippery because this gives us a break free for no cost, it's OP. We're gonna use Survival Instincts because every time we have a status effect on us and in combat it's gonna be every time, we are gonna pay 25% less for every core combat skill ability, which is like roll dodge, blocks, sprint, everything, break free as well. So these are the two I recommend. Then I'm using Regeneration because it's the most OP CP that they give us. And then Juggernaut. As I told you in the Dragon Knight video, I'm using this, but you can just, this is the flex spot, right? If you prefer to use On Guard, you use One Guard. If you prefer Unchained, if you want a little bit more health, you can slot Boundless Vitality or Ironclad for armor. It just depends on you. I'm using Juggernaut because I feel it's really good. And for the rest, we are gonna maximize Fortification, Tireless Guardian, Hasty, Hero's Vigor. Sprinter is really not needed if you don't have points. And the Mystic Tenacity is really good, Tumbling is really good, and Defiance. Those are the best you can get. Now, those, it's not really important. Either Sprinter is not important. And Piercing Gaze, yeah, those are really negligible. For the green tree, it's up to you. I'm using Gifted Rider, War Mount because I have my mounts are shitty, but you can go for something else. Rationeer I suggest because it improves your food duration of about 30 minutes. Liquid Efficiency is good as well. And in PvP you just need Breakfall. And that's pretty much it. Yep. I don't feel like I need to tell you, yeah, fuck you. What's... Okay. I don't need to tell you anything more about Stamina Necros. I hope you can play this class because it's not easy, but it's not hard. You just need to get rid of it, and this build helped me a lot when I was trying to improve my Necromancer Stamina in PvP, because it gives us a lot of sustain and you can mitigate your stamina pressure as well with Vaterstrand Frost. So I really enjoyed playing him. I'm running around with it every time right now, and I'm really happy to share this with you. If you have any question, guys, just feel free to ask in the comment section below, and if you didn't have yet, I just ask you to subscribe to the channel and maybe leave a like if you like the video. And as always, thank you, bye Bill, and see ya to the next video. Bye guys.